leave something in the donation and all.
Actually, I was going to do that anyway.
Oh, Paul,
Okay,
fine.
up here
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
is Trundle-Linen. I don't know if you know about them. They're in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yes.
You know, that's them.
Yes, he does. And the house. But it's okay. Hang on. So, and I can sit here, right?
Absolutely, that's what it's for. Yeah.
I don't, it's leaking onto it, and they don't care. Yeah, nobody cares anymore.
Yeah. Now this is for Trundle-Linen.
I do not.
Okay.
I don't.
Now there's a witch museum that's opened up in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, and he's been in Cleveland twice.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the card. I ran out the cards that I had. All the things that were sent. But this is now in
Okay.
State College.
Okay, I actually, Nancy Straley, who is an artist, is from State College, Pennsylvania. She did a lot of watercolors and carousels and all that. Nancy, and I've known her for like 30 years and water art for 30 years, but she is from State College, Pennsylvania, Nancy Straley. And I know that Paul wants to buy a couple of books from her too. Yeah. Well, you have an incredible. Well, this is incredible too. And that's not even out yet.
From your area,
Oh yes, I've got, let's see here, I got him, and I've got this one, and I've got the little bitch back here with the pumpkin. Oh, the Noah's Ark. Well, Paul, I can see you planning your next trip up here already. I can just see you. I don't know.
Stone, Gothic church. Sometimes we get Europe or England. Well, it is the first Gothic revival mansion built in the United States. Good eye. All right, I'm just going to ask everyone to kind of 3 families that have graced this home beginning in 1838 all the way through to 1961. That is a very large period of time and only 3 families. So a little bit about the first 2 families before we head up to the house. First family was William Paulding. He was a Tarrytown native. He was a general in the War of 1812. He was a lawyer, politician, 2-time New York City mayor. He was ready to retire. He wanted to build himself a summer retirement home. His brother-in-law happened to be Washington Irving. Do we know who Washington Irving is?
Yes.
Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Well, he recommends to William Paulding, a young starting out architect, Alexander Jackson Davis, A.J. Davis, to commission the building of his very simple summer retirement home, 7,000 square feet. This is 14,000 square feet. The architect's very important to the home. He looked at his creations like a musical composition. He took into account not only the design of the building, but also the topography of the land, He designed the interior of his buildings and much of the furniture for the owner. So he took into account the owner's personalities, what they wanted. It stayed in the Paulding family from 1838 to 1864. At that point, our second family, the Merritt family, George and Julia Merritt, they purchased this in 1864, and they begin this campaign of aggrandizement. They doubled the size of the house to 14,000 square feet, raised the roof line. What's key is that they were able to get the same architect, A.J. Davis, 30 years later to do the addition. And again, the architect redesigned the interior, took it into account the owners transformed this part of New York. Farmers could not compete with the farmers in the Midwest. They began to sell off their acreage to mostly wealthy New York City folks who were looking to get out of the overcrowded, disease-ridden, hot conditions in the middle of the summer in the city. Come out here in the summer. The second owner, George Merritt, well, how did he transform this? Well, he hires a German immigrant. His name was Ferdinand Mangold. Let's take a peek in the backyard before we go in. Favorite part of the entire house, the backyard. It was always sitting up on this hill. The Merritts, the second owner, not only did they transform the front, they transformed the back. He creates all these walking paths that wind down to the river. They've been restored by the National Trust. He also created all the, this is the front, this is the side view. Remember that side view as we were walking up the drive. Still Gothic revival in style, much more simple, very different home. See that flat farmland in the front. This, what we're standing in right now, was originally, in this area right here, was William Paulding's carriage entrance. The carriage would pull up and you would walk right into a house, in the house. The house was very simple. Wood floor, simple, plain painted walls. This is the start of George Merritt's aggrandizement. He adds this vestibule. What? No, you're good, you're good. I was waiting for everyone to kind of make their way in. When we enter here, we're really entering the visual space of the Merritt family. You can see that he's extended this white marble floor and these Minton tiles all the way through into the entry. Again, William Paulding, this was much more simple. Thinking about the architect who really designed everything, his vision of symmetry. Every room is almost perfectly symmetrical. The only marble in the entire home is around the fireplaces. Blue very much matches the blue in the Minton tiles. Now these two busts, on my right and my left, these date to the Paulding time, 1840s. These were in this entry when he was living here. They represent two famous people. Any idea who this is? I say it's a better. I guess I think she looks a little.
Yeah, totally.
We had a women's work art exhibit here all summer, and it was women's
Yeah, we were
work.
hoping to see that, but it just closed, right? Just a few days
Oh,
ago.
so sorry. Yeah. Yes.
We couldn't get
It
here.
was really lovely. It got sold out so quickly. We do have some other really pretty art pieces in here that were just brought out. William Paulding's parlor. This is his parlor furniture, designed by the architect. It's lightweight, you can move it around, create different conversation areas. Yeah, but what, why was there music in here? Who were you playing music for?
Your people arriving.
Your people arriving, yes. This was your receiving room, your reception room. This could maybe be the only room in the entire house a guest would see. You can keep these doors closed, keep your other rooms private. Wood framed home, remember, look at this. If you haven't noticed, this is a pocket door. Pretty fabulous.
Oh, yes.
Quite large. There's a photo of this room from the early 1870s. You can see it's pretty much almost exactly the same. This is and so what we have here are photographs of George, our second owner, his lovely wife, Julia. This is obviously the library. Now, when our first owner lived here, William Paulding, this was not his library. His library was upstairs in the grandest room in the house. Any idea what this room was for the Paulding family? Thinking about what we see in basement, bedrooms, or upstairs. What do the Pauldings need in their home? Jay Gould immediately rebuilt it, steel framed. First steel framed Lord and Burnham greenhouse. I haven't heard of Lord and Burnham. And 18,000 square feet. So what you're seeing now is just the frame. It used to have glass, but it started falling. So for safety reasons, they just took it all out. And now it's just the frame.
Maybe someday.
Someday. I know next on the
When all
list
those
is
donations keep rolling in.
yes.
Which historical? Yes, for the manual, that's everything. It's in theory at 5 o'clock.
They always try to get that working, and it chimes once in a while, and then
Really?
it stops.
Really?
Yeah. So we're entering the addition, and this is a separate entrance that he created, so folks could meet with him in his office without disturbing the rest of the household. This is not stone on the walls, this is a continuation of this faux paint. This is plaster with a canvas overlay and hand painted to look like stone. Now I said the Merritts added heat and plumbing to the house. The architect designed these Gothic revival coverings to hide the radiators. This is still how we get our heat. And the plumbing was hidden behind these corner cabinets.
Oh,
And these are also Gothic revival in style.
that's smart.
Again, Julia, when she sold this in 1880 to Jay, she took her piano with her, and she did take her artwork with her. So the piano that you saw in the reception room was Jay Gould's 1880 Steinway. So when you see artwork on the walls, it all belonged to the Gould family. Jay Gould grew up on a farm, dairy farm in Roxbury, New York, very poor beginnings, and he really loved the time, but we're going to make our way upstairs.
Sorry. I'll listen now, I'll look. Because they're underneath. Don't quote me on that.
Yes, don't forget to look up. And this is not fake wood. This is real wood, because this was here when the Pauldings were here. This was originally William Paulding's library. You can see why the Merritts didn't want this to remain the library. This is quite a substantial room. This became a party room for the Merritts. You can see they pushed William Paulding's bookcases to where they are today, kind of against this wall. It's very church-like in here, very much like a sanctuary. Again, big 1840s. There's a photo of this room from the early 1870s during the Maritime. There's a big billiard table right in the middle of the room. Artist Courbet, he was a very controversial artist. He often did graphic nudes of women. This is not that. But it would have been very controversial for Jay Gould to have one of his paintings in his home. That is a Tiffany throughout the entire Gould time here. You're wondering what Jay Gould looked like? This is a portrait of Jay. Age of 56. Tuberculosis. They call it consumption. About a quarter of deaths in the world were due to this. Just a horrible way to die. Jay all slept in that room. That's George's bed. There's an M on the end of it. And this is for all the ladies. There's
Fantastic.
I think she's fantastic.
They're pretty cool.
He's just not like that. She's too
Goulds were here. They used Herder Brothers for
There's
their
another filter
furniture.
there.
Really beautiful bird's eye make. Yes, thank you. The craze in the late 1800s to early 1900s. That is like around 1880, unknown maker. We don't know who did it. I'm not sure why it's still here. The building, I think it's maybe where it was donated from. They just haven't come to pick it up yet. Did you see another one somewhere?
There's two, yeah, two.
Oh, maybe they just up in the bedroom up there? Okay, it's the crazy close to asymmetrical
Yes,
pattern?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, it's from our women's work. They just must not have been picked up yet. Very, very pretty. We had one from the 1980s that was hanging in the other room.
Oh.
Oh my, I mean, that's much sooner, but. This bathroom was that. Okay.
Look at that thing. It's green on the back. Look, you're on.
Take your time, take your time. Take your time.
That's it right there.
That's actually Anno Domini.
No,
Yeah, go on. You do. You do you.
Do it on Christmas Eve. Come into the service here.
Really?
Oh my gosh, you
This
feel
has
like you're
gotta be
transported to
gorgeous.
another. They have the candles lit. There's no electricity really, except for the organ in there. There's no heat, just the little pipes.
Hold on, yeah.
Bob
that's the witch.
Carpenter, who we sell his soul effigies.
This is the witch, right?
Yeah, he made this. They had him do this stone. He's been restoring stones, and she was a Bohemian woman, and they thought she was a witch. And she actually fought. She lived in the woods, and she did fight for the colonial people instead of the British. And when she died, they found a Bible in her possession and some money. So she was a good person because she had a Bible. So they knew in the.
One of the two role models for Katrina.
It never was, but
Oh, some of the areas are gorgeous. The homes, and
it's like Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon's like the armpit of Westchester, but there's some beautiful old houses.
1820 or 18.
The bridge during Irving's time was approximately 300 yards east of the bridge that's there now. So it went across the stream.
Could it be approximately where the one is they got now?
No,
Okay.
no.
So somewhere between.
Around in this area, because
there.
it went through my neighborhood where I live.
Uh-huh.
It went through on the lowest part, somewhere around here, because the road came around the church and came down this way, went through that neighborhood, up along, and came out up on the top of the hill. So that is way back. No, that's not where it was.
Okay.
And then and that went across, and then in 1912 they straightened the road out. One of the persons who was involved with it was William Rockefeller, because he had his estate up on the top of the hill by the hospital up here.
Yeah.
he
and it-
didn't like turning the wheel.
Well, probably, you know what, and the road bed was lower, it was higher, and they lowered it. It was easier for his vehicles and his horses, and money talked. But if you look on the door was over here, the windows were small, and the road came around this way. I guarantee you that's where it was.
Yeah. Original door.
As you can see that the mortar is the same up and
Yeah,
down.
yeah, and
there.
there it's different.
Yeah, and this is
Hi, this is the oldest one here.
well, if you've done all the rest of the work, you're not going to throw it away. You're going to go,
Just gonna go on the next line,
Yeah.
right?
and be happy you've got it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're grateful that it's here. But look at these in Dutch. I mean, some of
Now,
these are in such
these-
beautiful shape.
These are. Is that granite?
This is regular stone. I
Regular
believe.
stone?
These
This is
are
lime?
sandstone.
Sandstones.
Sandstone.
Which it's amazing they last unless these were redone.
Yeah. Some of them have
Well, like
been.
this one here.
Like this one, look at this one's in good shape.
Yeah.
Other ones, this one's in good shape.
Now, sandstone, does it do some kind of absorbing moisture from the ground up?
Probably.
To carry it?
Some of these have been fixed. Again, this Bob Carpenter, my friend, he's a master carver. He's done all kinds.
And what about the angel faces on it?
Oh, those are soul effigies.
Soul effigies.
And they represent the soul winging its way to heaven with a crown of glory. And if you look at the different stones, they have the faces on it. They're very cool. And then one of the carvers was Solomon Brewer, and he's buried somewhere over on the other side of the old Dutch. I love those soul effigies. There's many of them around. Oh, who is that? Look at that face. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, that's a good one.
And this is Dutch. Here lying the body. Or part Dutch. There's another one. See with the little crown on it?
Yep.
Look at that. And this thing is in, good shape. And you look at the date. The date